Hi, I'm Mickey Ward, and the movie is about me and my brother Dickie. It's called The Fighter, and I'm happy that it finally happened and it's done.
It's really difficult to make a movie about someone, and not only about someone, but about a whole group of people. And here we have the responsibility of treating the story of a family. And this is, it's a family who's been through a lot.
It's really the story of these people and their world. I mean, you know, the fighting is something that is their medium, but it's really about who they are.
You know, it's very powerful dramatically, and it has all the exciting elements that boxing movies have, but it's definitely more about their lives and what they had to overcome.
I vaguely knew about Mickey Ward just from being a boxing fan, but I didn't know really a lot of the history of the family and his brother and kind of this whole brotherly bond and all the things that they've overcome. And these two guys, Paul Thomas and Eric Johnson, who had gotten the rights from the family, came in and pitched me the story. And I've always wanted to do a boxing movie. I love sports movies. I love boxing movies. The Rocky franchise is like, you know, my favorite franchise.
You know, we've taken out a lot of pitches and we've sold a lot of projects, but this is the first time I think I've ever seen every single producer, every single studio we went into wanted the project. I mean, people recognized what it was. Great boxing movie, and also at the crux of it, a love story between two brothers, and that's what really sold it.
They pitched me the story, and I'm not exaggerating when I'm saying that about halfway through, I started tearing up, and by the end of the pitch, uncontrollably, I was standing in my chair like this, like screaming, and I knew that there was a really amazing special story here.
Because it's such a story of adversity, overcoming odds, redemption, which are stories we love to do, and asked them if we could partner with them, and they said yes, and we did.
We went to Atlantic City. We saw the last Arturo Gatti, Mickey Ward fight of the trilogy.
We really had decided in our heads, you know, the outcome of this fight is going to determine the outcome of this movie. If Mickey Ward wins the fight against Arturo Gatti, it's such a great trilogy that everybody knows about that it should be the third act of the movie. After Mickey lost that fight, I leaned over to Eric and said, well, I think the third act of this movie's got to be the Shea Neary fight. And to this town, that is the fight that really put Mickey on the map. If you walk into Art Romalo's gym, it says Mickey Ward, world champion, because of his fight against Shea Neary.
Yeah, not just to the town, but to Mickey
to
and
Mickey
Dickie,
and Dickie, yeah.
too. Because one of the things was, you know, Dickie, what he wanted to do was give his brother what he'd thrown away to drugs and alcohol, which is a world championship.
They have an amazing spirit, you know. I mean, Mickey Ward is a character he's a person who would never give up, ever. It's a quiet, frightening intensity that when he breaks it out is extremely powerful. And his brother is more all over the place and intense in a completely different way.
You know, just learning about these guys and seeing what they've achieved, and then actually seeing the movie come around. I mean, it's a long road to get movies go.
Can you believe it's
Dickie would say to me, "This is never gonna happen. This is never gonna happen. This movie's never." And I'd say, "Dickie, it is gonna happen. It's gonna happen. We're gonna make the movie."
There's something I need to talk to you about.
Go logger. I love it.
I made a promise to them I wouldn't work with you again.
In terms of casting it, we knew early on that Mark Wahlberg had actually sought the rights out before we did.
Before that, I had talked to Mickey and Dickie about possibly doing their story, and then I realized that they did a couple little deals back home. So it seemed like too much of a mess, and then all of a sudden I get a call from Paramount and Brad Weston saying, "Hey, we got the script, we want you to read it." And I was like, "What is it?" And he told me it was the story of Irish Mickey Ward and his brother and their family in Lowell. So I said, "Wow, of course." I mean, I've known Mickey for a long time.
He's a local guy from Dorchester, and he's like kind of a street kid, you know. He's from the streets.
He's the ninth of nine. This is a family of 9. from the Boston area, salt of the earth, working class people, and that's who Mark is.
I mean, there's so many similarities between my life and Mickey's life, and every family in that area. It's like, I didn't even need to read the script. All I needed to do was be believable as a guy who was capable of winning the world championship.
Perfect casting, not only because of his build, his look, his physicality, but his kind of mental fortitude and all the things he's overcome. It was just a perfect fit.
I read the script. I remember being on vacation with my wife, and I remember telling her that as soon as I get back, I'm starting to train. There wasn't a green light for the movie, but there was a script, and there was serious interest in the studio to make it. So, needless to say, I start training for this movie that took almost 4 years to make, and it was on again, and it was off again. Different people were coming into the cast.
Mark was training for this movie where someone might train for 6 months. Mark trained for 4 years. He did not stop training, fighting, boxing, exercising, doing whatever he was doing for 4 years.
Every set, every movie we did The Happening, Max Payne, Lovely Bones. Even though I started taking other jobs in between, I would bring Bo, who was my trainer, and Brian, who eventually became my other trainer, an athletic trainer, with me on jobs.
We get the saying that Mark always goes by. He stays in shape, so he doesn't have to get in shape.
So that meant getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning, going to the gym for 2 hours, going home, taking a shower, and going to do another job. Hitting the mitts in the trailer, between takes, just, every day we lived, breathed boxing and becoming Mickey Ward.
That goes to show you the dedication he had to it, and he wanted to be the best me that he possibly could, and in doing that, he had to train a lot.
I felt like nobody had ever been that realistic or believable as a real boxer, as a champion, and I knew the kind of expectations that Mickey had, and mine were just as high. So I wanted to be believable in every aspect of it. I didn't want to rely on editing or choreography, and just kind of, I wanted to look the part for real. And so that's why I was so, part of the reason why I built this gym that we're sitting in, because I wanted to play a boxer.
Are we gonna train away? You wanna train away?
Did you
train
guys
him?
Exactly.
Yeah. Like get up and
Exactly.
run.
Well, we can do maybe like, your boxing workout first, and then we can run.
These hills, huh? Ooh.
Shit, if we start running the hills, I might have to follow you guys on my bike on the golf cart.
I love it.
Anytime you'd go to Mark's house, where Mark has a boxing ring, or in Lowell, he would invite people into the ring with him, and I would always say, "Don't do it. It's a mistake. Don't do it."
He punches hard. That SOB. He punches hard, and he knows where to get you too.
Nice. Yeah.
That's why I gotta get this too. Here.
Ah, yeah.
So
That's
that,
nice.
Or that, and right up at that.
Well, I used to do two mark. I'd go lefty inside, and I'd catch him like this. I'd throw a right hook here, right, and I'd come with a left uppercut right in the solar plex.
Yeah. He's more far advanced than I thought. He's actually better than, nice uppercuts. He sits down and sits right down on it. Like sitting down, banging it. Some people bring their hand down here, and it takes them days, and he just sat down with it and bring it up, switch to the other side.
That was probably one of the more fun things for me to do, play with those guys. And once I really got my skills good, I really knew where to hit somebody. That wouldn't kind of like put them out for a week, but it would certainly, make them not want to cough or laugh too much.
Quagga, what's your thing?
Once we got Mark, we set out to try to find, who was going to play Dickie.
I think that really I probably got this role because I bumped into Mark at an event for kids. And he was there with his daughter, I was there with my daughter, and that was when we first met.
And I'm thinking, holy shit, I've seen him do some pretty amazing things physically and emotionally as an actor. I think he could be an incredible Dick Eklund.
He studied Dickie Eklund. We made, countless copies of DVDs and fights and home movies, and he spent a lot of time with Dickie, and he has essentially channeled him. He's taken this character and become him. So much so that some of the family members, in certain instances, have mistaken Christian Bale for their brother when he was turned around and just his movements. It's so uncanny.
He looks so much like Dickie. I'm like, what's Dickie doing in the house there? How come he's in there while they're filming? That's how good of a job he's doing. I mean, he was walking by and I'm like, I had to take a double look. I'm like, wow.
The little things that people might not notice who don't know Dickie, but as well as we know him, it's scary. It's scary how well he has him down.
I think he plays a better Dickie than Dickie. You know, if that's possible. He was like right on.
Turn around to Alice and say, ooh, look at that. He's mad. See, I have them both. He's mad. I have them both right. Ooh, look, Alice. He's mad now. He's mad now. If you hit one of those guys, no. Christian in real life is a lot more like Mickey, a quiet guy. But by channeling Dickie, Christian was able to become this extremely colorful, intense guy who enjoys talking to people everywhere. I mean, Dickie's friends with everybody on the streets of Lowell, everywhere.
Used to live over there. This town got good memories, right? Check it out.
We drove around, and Christian being so in character, the way Dickie would, chatting to everybody like the mayor.
Got my crack over here. Do you ever know that? They smoke crack at the White House?
We just would drive up to people on the street, and we went up to, we found some guy who had a big python, and Christian being so in character was just talking to the snake and kissing the snake, and he just rolled.
It's been a while. I'll take anything right now.
You know, those moments just happen. You can't plan them.
And then Mark and Christian together, just the chemistry between those two guys is not only amazing for actors, but it's very endearing and not dissimilar to the way that the real Mickey and Dickie are in real life.
Well, I mean, they're both very strong actors, and they had strong ideas about how they wanted to play the part, but we were always aiming to be as real and smell the sweat and smell the realness of these people as possible.
Hey, what the fuck?
Don't, here we go.
What the fuck are you doing? We gotta go to the airport now. You know how important this fight is to me.
I know. I'm on my way. All right. And look, don't tell Mom I'm here. I'm pick me up back at the house.
What do you mean?
Wait, I gotta go through the. I'm gonna go through the yards.
I'm gonna go through the yards.
Yeah, but you know how important this fight is.
How can you do that? How can you do that? I need you. I need you.
I need you right now.
And I'm gonna.
I know, and I'm gonna be there for you.
Hurry the fuck up.
Okay.
We had two other filmmakers that everybody kind of liked.
And we had heard great things about David. Everybody thought he was a brilliant filmmaker.
He'd start talking about the script and talking about the world and the people, and he just kept saying all the right things. And I said to everybody, I said, guys, you know, I gotta tell you, I think I know how we can make the best possible version of this movie, and it's with David O. Russell.
The first question I asked him is, what kind of movie do you want to make? And he said, I want to make Rocky. And I said, that's great, because that's the movie we want to make. We were very inspired by that movie. That movie had such heart and such character.
They're like the best characters I've ever known in cinema. They're like the characters from Raging Bull, authentic New York characters. These are authentic Lowell characters.
The key was, how is this movie made where it doesn't become a boxing movie that only guys want to see? How does it not become, you know, too artsy that art house crowds go? And how do you make it where every guy wants to go because they're like, that is the coolest kick-ass I've ever seen, and every girl wants to go because they're like, that was had more heart than anything I've seen, and David just got it.
I mean, obviously, at its core, this is a very dramatic story, but with David O's sense of humor, it's going to lighten it up a little bit and make it a little more accessible.
And it was weird because every time I've done a movie with David, it's always been something that he wrote, that he kind of saw me in the part, and I would just come and do whatever he wanted, whenever he wanted it done. You know, with this movie, I knew the world so much better. I was so much more familiar with the world than everybody else.
The fact that Mark was from this area, and the fact that Mark has these people in this area in his blood, brought a level of intensity and respect to the set that everybody felt. His arm around there, brother to brother, all the way down to the barbershop where Christian goes in. Why don't the two of you walk in the barbershop together, right?
All right.
I think we all felt that we had to film the movie in Lowell because Lowell is a very particular place.
It's always great filming on location. It gets even better when you're actually shooting in the house that everything really happened in. And I can walk through it with Dickie and Mickey ahead of time and have them, you know, talk us through what really went down.
Lowell, you have to shoot in Lowell. You have to shoot in Lowell. You have the benefit of having all the real people. You know, it can only help.
This is Lowell. This is Lowell.
I mean, some people are like, I don't want the real guy around. I don't want to be, you know, I got to do my thing and play it my way.
I wouldn't want anybody making a film out of my life. And if they did, I'd want to be there every day on the set and telling them they're doing it wrong. And that's not how it went down at all. And so I was thinking, and spoke with Dickie about this. How's he going to feel? You know, is he going to be there each and every day telling me that that's not how he would say that line, you know? Is it going to start to be problematical? What if Dickie decides he doesn't like the way the movie's looking, you know? He's got enough friends in Lowell, he could have shut us down so easily, you know, at any time.
You know, it's a controversial story. You know, I can't say it was pleasant all the time. Some of the sisters didn't like how they were being portrayed. At times, Dickie didn't like necessarily how he was being portrayed.
I remember once, you know, I left pages of ideas that David was writing on the table, and Dickie got a hold of them and was like, "What the fuck is this?" You know, I'm like, wait, take it easy. That's not necessarily even going to be in the movie. We're trying to make your story as interesting as possible, or tell your story in 2 hours.
I always said to them time and again, I know exactly how you feel. I imagine it feels pretty harrowing to you as to how are you going to be portrayed. But if you take out all the crazy shit, you don't have a movie. Do you feel it or not? You feel it? I think you're sitting there going, here's how I would write it.
No.
That's what he's always doing.
I understand. Exactly.
Do you understand?
Yeah, it is right, but I'd say.
He's always rewriting me.
There was a lot of that, and I knew there would be a lot of that, and that's the pros and cons to making the movie there.
And I just wanted to reassure them again and again that it was not coming from a destructive place. It was coming from a realistic place. Mickey Ward himself said, if the family didn't want a lot of these incidents to ever be portrayed, I guess they shouldn't have done them in their lives.
It's all good. It's got to be good, right? They're making a Hollywood movie out of my goodness and badness, but it's all good today. That's what matters to me. I don't care about all the bad stuff they put in, because some of it is true, but some of it's worse than they put.
David discussed things from right from the get-go when he was come on board and stuff. He wanted to make this as real as possible, as authentic as possible.
Hey, Mick, you take care. I'll call you tomorrow. Hey?
Cheer up.
I don't think I want to do this no more.
We'll get you It was intense to have these real people who lived through this around you on the set of the movie.
You know, and then to obviously have the real character, you know, play a role in the movie even just further enhances this. Just it's a once in a lifetime thing on a movie.
We had Mickey O'Keefe, the policeman who was a trainer of Mickey's. He was played by the real Mickey O'Keefe.
My name's Mickey O'Keefe, and I played Mickey O'Keefe.
With Mickey O'Keefe, they were like looking at all these actors, and I was like, no, guys, there's one person to play this role, and it's Mickey O'Keefe.
That guy is still a police officer. He's been a police officer in Lowell for over 30 years.
I can't say that I was a big proponent of casting Mickey O'Keefe as Mickey O'Keefe in the movie.
And they gave me 4 screen tests. I'm here.
Turns out he was unbelievable. He brought an authenticity, a naturalism, a Mickey O'Keefe that nobody else could have emulated or done.
I think it would have been very hard, you know, for someone to play him with his, his emotions and the way he handles himself.
What are you talking about, emotions?
Oh, he has enough of those.
I would look across at him often, and he'd be looking quite dumbfounded, and he felt like he was having deja vu like 24/7 on this movie. You know, the only thing that's tricky with somebody who hasn't acted before is having to do a bunch of takes. You could see him thinking, why? I'm going to do this again. I mean, I think the same thing. I know I have to do it, so I keep quiet about it. But Mickey would vocalize that all the time because it was the first time. He's going, "When are you going to do it? Why again? You know, what the hell's going on here?" Like,
Mickey, that was so beautiful. That was so beautiful. All right, so that's all you're doing. It's a tender moment. Yes. Okay.
So beautiful. So fucking beautiful.
It was very important to Mark and to me that the fight scenes seem extremely intense and extremely real. And so it was Mark's idea and kind of commitment that he wanted to shoot the fights using an HBO crew, which we did.
Every filmmaker that we talked to about directing this movie before David was hired was like, you can't shoot the fights in 20 days. You need 35 days. And I said, well, we're going to shoot the whole movie in 33 days. And we're going to shoot all the fights in 3 days. And they said, how are you going to do that? It's never going to work. I said, because we're going to film them like actual fights. So we literally did every fight from the very beginning, coming out of the dressing room, into the arena, into the ring, the first bell, the introductions, the last bell, and everything. And we just did it over and over and over again. And what I was telling everybody, I was like, HBO does this with one take, and they don't know what's going to happen, and they never miss a thing. I said, we have the luxury of showing them what we're gonna do in the morning before we shoot it, and doing it over and over and over again. So why do you need 20 days? For what? To jerk each other off, to touch up your makeup, to go in the trailer and take a nap. You know, we're not talking about putting the camera in there and saying, okay, we're gonna do a stunt punch here. No, we're going in there, we're gonna beat the shit out of each other, then we're gonna make it real.
When I watched them, I couldn't believe that they really weren't getting hit. And the way they did it, you were getting hit.
Look at Mickey scared. Get the camera on him. He's scared to death. Scared to death after all these fights. What do you think about that? Huh? Round one.
You don't see, you don't stop.
You know, I'm the shy one. Look at him. Can't stop talking. Quack a jaw.
Hey, Ray! What's up? The guy you doing? Good.
Oh, I got to call Sugar Ray. I called Ray and said, Ray, I need you. You know, we played golf a bunch. We got a lot of mutual friends. I had Johnny Drama all over him all the time. We had to have Sugar Ray. They were talking about, it was another thing. They were like, you can't have the real Sugar Ray in the movie. You got to get somebody younger. And I said, Sugar Ray looks like he's 25 years old. The dude looks fantastic. And you know, if you go back and you watch the Dick Eklund Sugar Ray fight, there wasn't one person in there rooting for Sugar Ray. Sugar Ray said he wasn't so much scared in the ring, but he was scared of everything that was going on outside of the ring. Racial tension was really bad back then. And then 30 years later, coming back and having the place giving you a standing ovation, it was very nice. He appreciated that a lot.
Set was a great place. You know, David O. Russell is a wonderful director in creating a really, really great atmosphere where nobody really gave a damn if we were filming or not. You know, nobody really cared if the camera was rolling or not.
It was a great cast, and the fact that we only had 33 days made us all the more committed and focused.
The luxury of having somebody like Melissa or having somebody like Christian is, you know, they're not playing themselves, they're becoming this person.
What are you doing, Mac? Crying out loud, what's the matter?
I remember taking a friend of mine who's known Melissa for 25 years, didn't know it was Melissa.
I've never been around an actress that did the kind of preparation that she does, and just when she comes into work, she, from the first stroke of putting on the makeup, she just becomes more and more like Alice.
You don't mind this nice young man in my house, do you? He just comes by, visits, rearranges things. You don't mind, right?
No, I don't
I'll be up in a minute.
So then I had to check with her sometimes and say, is Melissa home yet? And I did it kiddingly, but you don't do that, you know. And I learned. Then after that, she was very, very kind by telling me in a roundabout way, listen, asshole, don't fuck with my process.
Dickie, Dickie, Dickie!
That's Mommy Dearest over there.
Dickie, Dickie, Dickie!
Oh yeah, you gotta put the lipstick on, go.
Well, I'm that sort of kooky actress who invests my whole being into a character. It's the only way I know how to do what I do, whether the leap to the character is very subtle from myself or a great, vast, huge leap like it is with Alice.
So, you know, you get people that just, you know, are gonna become these characters and dive in and live in that headspace from, you know, beginning to end. It's the only way to make it.
Alice, I told you 10 minutes to go get out of here!
So Melissa Leo is kind of a granola, kind of down-to-earth girl that wears flip-flops and, you know, kind of a country girl. And this was like tight dresses and high heels, big nails, tough woman.
There's been a great many who have contributed to the creation of Alice, and Johnny, who did my hair, and Trish, who did my makeup, along with Mark Bridges, that did the costumes. And most of all, as I always say, and David thinks I'm just joking with him, David O. Russell really created me as Alice.
A fantastic character, really, to play. A fantastic, colorful character.
This is my friend Mark Wahlberg. You may have seen him in a couple of films that I haven't been in.
I've never had a role where I've actually played somebody who's live before, and I got to meet George Ward, and it was a very interesting character. He has some throat stuff. He had a tracheotomy, so he has the thing that the microphone that he puts near his neck here. All right, Mike, there's a guy right here. Yeah.
We're gonna do it. We're gonna
get drunk, he's breaking out after 14
Yeah,
years.
after 14 years, we're gonna get drunk and we're gonna run naked through the streets of Lowell.
Why
I'm gonna get
not?
one of these little deals here and just because apparently that's the thing that the chicks are attracted to. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, they think you're like a Star Wars guy from the 70s, dressed like the 70s but out of the Star Wars.
Let me think about that for a minute.
And he said to me, "Take a walk with me. I want to talk with you." It was right out of like Don Corleone.
Where we going? Don't fucking leave me with him. Don't leave me with him. I have to call my sponsor. Going away with George Ward.
A really interesting guy. Seemed like a guy, you know, with all the turmoil that their families went through, he not only didn't make any excuses for his family. He made a point to make sure that he said that his wife was a wonderful, wonderful woman, did the best she could, raised 9 kids, and because he admitted he wasn't around for a lot of this.
Did she run the roost?
Oh yeah, you was a wonderful woman.
Yeah.
Even now, I mean,
Yeah.
we're the best of friends.
Right.
And everything. I mean, there's no arguments, there's no nothing.
Right.
I've got nothing bad whatsoever to say about it.
Right.
You raised those kids.
Yeah.
You know, and that's beautiful. I mean,
Right. He couldn't say anything bad about her. I said to him, "Well, you mean like today?" But was there ever a time where you could say anything bad about her?
What's the matter with you? You... Oh, come on, the pants hurt. Yeah, they hurt. I hope it hurts.
Spaghetti ever get thrown?
I had no head.
You had no head for it?
Walking like this, thinking crazy.
There's still a love story in that relationship between Alice and George because they've gone their separate ways. They cannot live with each other, but it doesn't seem like they can live without each other either.
I know you can't fucking stand me, all
Really?
right?
What makes you say that?
And I got no use for you either, all right? But my brother loves you. And you can't walk away because of me.
I mean, Amy played Charlene. She got that feistiness in her, like my wife. They said, oh, maybe she's a little too, you know, she always played a different like type of a girl or woman. I don't know if she could play Charlene, but she played a hell of a Charlene.
You know what the bell says about this tip? Cheap bastard. Cheap fucker. Comes in here every day, gives me shitty tips. Yeah, fuck you too.
David told me I didn't look like somebody who could punch. And it was really hard for me not to punch him when he said that, but I didn't. So I took some boxing classes and I had a great time.
What happened is once she started to become the character of Charlene, she wouldn't smile. She was not as friendly. And I said to her, I said, "What's wrong?" She said, "Nothing. I'm just in character." And she was just in character all the time, and it just made her really no bullshit.
All right, no, come up. No, I fucking mean it. You know, I've had a really great opportunity to play different roles in the past that have honored a certain part of my personality, and this is the secret part of my personality that I try to hide from people. So it's fun to get to honor her as well.
I think it was fun for every character to go somewhere. I mean, Amy was playing completely against type, and she was so eager to do it.
We were just lucky to get her. I mean, the Charlene character wasn't as pivotal a role as it became because we were able to get a person of her caliber. Her agent just called me today. She saw the movie. She was like so grateful that, and Amy was so happy that she could see herself doing something that other people didn't expect. I said, I didn't doubt it for a second. I just thought it was a no-brainer. She'd kill it.
It was one of the best experiences I had because being part of Lowell was as much a gift to us as it was exciting to them. I think it was really exciting to them to feel their story being made by these actors. And it was a gift for us to be welcomed and to know them and to get to know the real people.
This is a family that's had lost dreams and then fulfilled some of them. And it's the journey through that.
What is family and how does family affect us? And who are we with our family? Who are we without our family?
It's a story about love and relationships and a lot of adversity that these guys had to overcome.
That's really what makes so much of this movie is the fact that Mickey was able to have that amount of discipline and focus.
They couldn't get a better name for the fighter because he is the fighter. You know, his brother was a great boxer. There's no taking that away from him. But Mickey's a fighter.
It's been a long process. It's been a long time, and then to get it done, it was like, to watch it was incredible.
goes way back to my Uncle Joe Brooks. He was a champ, lightweight champ. My cousin Gardner's father was a lightweight champ of the way. He's from Lowell, and that's where it all came from.
Well, it started actually technically with the brother-in-laws, their sisters, you know, Gail and Donna. They were both married boxers, and they were older than Mickey and Dickie, so they used to take them down to the gym as kids. And that's where it really took off, you know.
My father was married to Dickie's sister. Yeah, that's what's funny, right? Because he started it. And, yeah, and Bo James.
Was the same time. He was a good fighter.
That's what's funny. All the fighters from Lowell, it's all family.
Well, I was married to Mickey Ward's sister, and that was back in 1973, you know. And then Mickey, Dickie, they loved me, you know. They went in the gym, then started off, you know, fighting, you know.
Mickey was 7 years old when he started. His brother Dickie brought him. I'd been training Dickie for 6 or 8 years at that time, you know. He brought him in. That's where he started.
Everybody that knew everything went to Otter Model's gym to fight. Once you go into a gym like that, you stick around, you go back the next day. Before you know it, you know, you're in either shallow boxing, you're in hitting the speed bag, heavy bag, and you're in sparring. And before you know it, they're putting you on a match.
Mickey had his first fight at 7 in a special belt.
The gloves were up to here, almost up to my whole arm. I was 50 pounds, soaking wet.
There was kids from like 7 years old to 16. That was your age group. And then you go into the Golden Gloves at 17 years old. And then you take off from there. If you want a title and you get good enough, you turn professional.
That was almost like a rite of passage, you know. I boxed in the Golden Gloves and I boxed in the Silver Mittens, and, you know, just about everybody that I knew fought. We all boxed. That's what we did.
We all got the fighting in our blood. All our families were fighters. We all boxed. It's in the blood, the Irish blood. We got no temper, right? It's all the Irish blood. Plus, my father was a pro boxer, so... Yeah, he was a professional middleweight. He had the middleweight championship. He fought Joe DiNucci 3 times at the Boston Garden. I boxed when I was little. My brother boxed when I was little. All my cousins fought. Sean and all them, little Dickie. So it's all in the family. We all fought. Then you got Mickey and Dickie, the stars.
In the old gym, like I told you, I trained Dickie for 10, 11 years. When the mother sent him to somebody else, I got a little mad. I told her to get the kids out, because I wasn't going to let them train in my gym and just fight for somebody else, you know? No. Well, it was more Dickie, but Mickey went with him at the time. Then they come back eventually. I got calmed down, you know, it's like... But like I say, Dickie told me 1,000 times it's the worst mistake he ever made.
Then 19 years old, I figured I'd give it a shot, see how I'd do as a professional.
He was a tough kid. Mickey was a tough kid, you know, but he wasn't a good boxer like Dickie was, but Mickey was a tough kid, you know. He was like what we call a club fighter. He walked in there, he had like to take 4 or 5, 6 punches right to get winning, you know. But he was a good, tough kid.
I never really wanted to be like a full-time boxer. I really didn't know what I was going to be when I was younger, you know. I always liked football and baseball better than boxing. And I just did boxing, not just because Dickie did it, but I did it because it kept me in shape. And I did like it, you know, at the beginning. But I never thought in a million years that I would do that as my profession or, you know, what I would do for life. And I think my first year as a pro, I think I fought 10 times. I was in Atlantic City like every other month. You know, and I fought on ESPN. I got the record. ESPN, I got 28 times on ESPN. So I went from like just not really caring about it to like boom, right into it full time.
Mickey never stepped back from anybody. Even in the Sanchez fight when he was getting his ass kicked. You know, he never wavered. You know, he just never wavered. And then when, you know, push come to shove, he knocked the guy out. And I'm telling you, I've been hit with that left hook to the body. It's like getting hit with a bolt of lightning. And you can't breathe, you can't talk. You just want to die. And when you see them people fall, that's real.
I was with him in like all of his training camps when Dickie trained him for the second time. Dickie always had me around. And just all the hard work he put in, man. He never cheated himself, never cut corners, and just his hard work paid off. He was probably one of the best conditioned fighters when he was fighting.
Actually, I'm not in that good shape right now. Just natural from inside. You know, if I can beat myself up in bad ways, I can sure push myself in a good way like this. But it can take so much.
I hang around for all my life, and you know, then we did another movie, High in Crack Street, me and Dickie, which was on HBO, and I was the main character.
Party, drink, you know what I mean? was training fighting, but, and still train hard, but it doesn't mix the party in life and the thing. It doesn't matter how far Dickie Eklund could have went. I end up going, big deal. I fought Sugar Ray Leonard, right?
When he's busy, he's good. When he's not, he just has too much time on his hands. But he's a boxing genius, obviously. So when he's around, anything that has to do with it, it's good. It's good for him and whoever's around him, because he's a great teacher.
When you have, you have one uncle that's a world champion, and you have another uncle that fought Sugar Ray Leonard, would have been world champion, but unfortunate things happen. And he would have been an incredible athlete if nothing ever would have happened negative to him. Because you can go 10 rounds for Sugar Ray Leonard when he's in his prime. That's one special fighter.
People say, slipped? Sugar Ray Leonard slipped. If you watch the tape, you'll see if he slipped.
Nobody was going even half that distance with Sugar Ray Leonard. Never mind complete. Everybody was inside the distance getting knocked out. And Dickie took him the distance and almost upset him in Boston. So, Dickie's one special fighter. And as far as I'm concerned, he's a very underestimated trainer. He knows his stuff, man. You can make somebody a world champion, you know your shit, man.
Dickie does a great job. Dickie's a great trainer. He should be out in California with the other people doing that,
There's been a lot of good fighters in Lowell. Manny Freitas, Kiki Rudy. I go down the, Larry Carney, Bo James. This goes on and on. You gotta have a carpenter to build a door, and take someone special. Mickey was a special guy that opened that door. But those guys built that door. So we're very proud of all the fighters out of Lowell.
As far as Dickie and Mickey go, they're part of the history of the city of Lowell, and that's going to be here for a long time. And Mickey especially, because Mickey's the fighter.
I have a boxing gym inside the Gold's Gym in Chelmsford. My friend Rick Dupree that runs the place. He gave me a room up there, and I train kids up there, men, kids. We got a gym up there for them, and also I drive for Local 25 out of Charlestown on the movie division for the movies, and just things like that. That's about it right now. Probably getting into some other things like down the road, but for now, right now, I'm doing that.
Right now, my goal is to have a lot more champions. I'm planning on packing up and leaving Lowell after this movie. Even though Mickey's an angel boy, I am what I am, and I'm good today. I'm healthy today. I'm gonna have a lot more champions.
There's hope for people, when they think that they're down and there's no hope. There is hope. As long as you do the right thing in life and you treat people good and you're respectful, good things do come to you. And I'm a living proof at it.
Hey, meet my mother. Huh? Meet my mother. What are you doing? Come on. You gotta meet my sisters. You gotta meet my sisters. All right, where are my sisters? Where are the sisters? My family's the best. That's Bieber. Y'all looking so cool back there. It's Donna, the oldest. You don't mess with Red Dog.
That's Tar.
She's a party animal.
That's Pork, also known as Kathy. Little Alice.
The organizer. And
Baby Sherry.
And I'm the eighth sister, Mary.
No, that's fine. Do that again for you? I can do it.
Sometimes his brother drags him down, do you think?
Yeah, I think his brother
he was
drags
a little
him down
bit
a
of
lot.
trouble sometimes.
Yeah, but I know there's love there. Sometimes working with family can be a little difficult.
Yeah, probably so.
Yeah, there's been a lot of negative stuff all about the family, and that's a lot of it's not even true.
It's a big family.
It's a big family. All big families have their problems.
But unfortunately, you know, Dickie chose other paths in life. Yeah. He could have been the star. He could have been a champ.
Dickie, in '78, he fought Sugar Ray Leonard in Boston. They were expecting him to walk through Dickie, but see, they didn't know the talent Dickie had at that time. And when he proved it worldwide against a guy like Leonard, they said, like, this guy's for real.
When Dickie boxed, he boxed for all of us.
And Eklund suddenly opens up. He went southpaw.
He put Lowell on the map. It was exciting he got to that point to fight a guy like Sugar Ray Leonard.
Dickie's a clever fighter, very quick, very elusive, tricky. The flash, the boxing skills, the speed, everything. That's what made Dickie who he is.
Sugar Ray might have some trouble tonight. That's a good possibility. He comes in here against a good boxer, a young man who can punch, and I would like to say that physically they're just about equal.
Yeah, that was a real proud moment, yo. Put it this way, there was a lot of time when Dickie was hitting Sugar Ray more than Sugar Ray was hitting him. I mean, nobody was touching him then.
Hey! Hey! Watch out! I'm coming through! I'm coming through! Hey! Hey! Hey, buddy. Hey! Papa!
Dickie!
What? Who said that, huh? Huh, Maluja? Did ya?
I'm a fan.
Huh?
He said it.
Ah, yeah, I took that picture with you, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. I like you. I like you. You!
I'm sorry.
Loser?
Sorry.
Huh?
You knocked out Sugar Ray
Well,
Leonard.
that's right, I did. That's right. Oh, you better look at me. Look at me. You better watch it. I'll set my sisters on you. You don't want that. So how do you make a girl sound just like a poppers? Huh?
I don't know how.
You go for the back door. Huh? Okay, on.
Feel good. Feeling lighter. Am I getting quicker?
You look good. Quicker. No way you're not gonna get the sucker. All right? No. I'm so angry. And I got hit by Mickey Ward. I don't want to get hit by Mickey Ward no more. It hurts when you hit me. I don't want it. Diggle time! Diggle time!
Over here! Not my hair! The camera's right here! The camera!
My hair to be nice.
The camera! The camera! I'll get it! I'll get it! I'll get it! I'll get it!
I got my ass stuck in the car.
Get it!
I can't get out. I can't get out.
That hair ain't moving, Ma. Don't worry about it, Alice.
Hey, don't tell Mom here.
She knows.
No. Hit me up back of the house, all right? I'll go through the yard.
She's in the
I'll go
driveway
through
right
the
now.
yard.
All right, but hurry up. She's in the fucking driveway. We got a fight to catch. George, you do this on the day your brother's traveling?
Oh!
What are you doing?
Why do you make me do that?
What the fuck you hit him for?
Why you make me do that, see ya?
Oh my God,
I was on my way. Ma. Huh?
Yeah.
No, Ma.
in this
Ma.
place, huh?
Ma.
Why can't we just go to the fucking airport for once, please?
We got a plane to catch.
Alice, what about your husband's laying on the fucking ground over here? You want to help your husband? What are you doing running here like a silverback fucking gorilla?
We had to get him, didn't we? For
What's wrong
Christ's
with
sake,
you?
we
Oh, yeah,
gotta
you
get
got
him
him all
going.
right. You got him, pal.
Oh, whoa. Hey.
All right. Let's go. What is he doing here?
He's coming to help.
No, that's a distraction for Mickey.
Who asked you?
No boo-boo.
Meg.
No.
No boo-boo? Okay, move on.
See you later, boo. You guys can fucking play when you get back. Driver, can we go, please?
inside.
Oh, he's gonna go rest. He's all grumpy.
Tired, he's beat up, he's a little embarrassed, I think.
He didn't fight back.
Mickey didn't fight back at all.
The guy was in a different weight class. It was so unfair.
He shouldn't have been in that fight. That fight was not right. He was outweighed by 16 pounds.
It was not fair. He was supposed to fight someone else.
I wish they wouldn't pay us any attention anymore. You know, before they love us, when everything's good, they love you, and everything's bad, they hate you. And that's the way it is. We don't need this fucking attention anymore. I'm sick of it.
When it enters your lungs, when it enters your lungs, you feel this, you know, peaceful, energetic feeling, you know, it just goes all over your body. You know, it's just happiness. It's happiness, what it is. It's just happiness, right? All the regrets, all the mistakes of the past, you know, it just, man, it just melts away, you know, and you feel light, you know, you feel so much lighter. You feel young. You know, you feel young, like when everything was in front of you. And then it fades, and you gotta get high again. Fuck. We gotta get mixed money. Come on, boo. Yeah. What about little Dickie? Who's gonna take care of him, huh? And what about my baby Tommy? Who's gonna take care of him? Well, but what about my movie? You know, I mean, could be out in a year, unless with good behavior, you know, we can finish it then, right?
Your part in the movie is going to end with you going to jail.
How are you going to finish the movie without me? I'm the star. What about my comeback, huh?
Oh, we'll finish it.
Hey, yeah.
We'll talk to your sisters, we'll do interviews, but your part is it's done. That's all we can do. I'm sorry.
This Friday, HBO goes inside the untold story of crack cocaine. We take a never-before-seen look at the crack dens of one New England town.
Ma!
We follow a once promising boxer who's
this.
now just another casualty of
Ma!
a pandemic sweeping America. Crack in America, this Friday night at 9 o'clock on HBO.
We have seen the promo, and it is disgusting. It's disrespectful for the city of Lowell. This is not Lowell, what Lowell is all about.
Hold up my teeth, huh? I don't know where my teeth have gone. And, Diggy, I don't know where my teeth. How am I gonna be able to eat, huh? You know they said they're gonna give me some new teeth?
Good.
Yeah.
It's good, sweetheart.
What's wrong, Ma? I know. It's a movie, right?
You don't look good. City don't look good.
It wasn't gonna be like that, you know? I mean, I'm thinking we could say that it was for the kids or something, you know?
For the kids? What
You
are
know,
you
for the
talking
kids,
about?
you know, like, you know, for anti-drug message, why it's not, what not to do and all that. I don't know.
Wrap it up, Dickie. 1 minute.
Make say why you don't come visit. I mean, all I do is just sitting there thinking about when I can get out and train him again, you know, and it's just, that's what keeps me going, you know? I just want to get out, have a second chance, do right for him, win that title, you know? Yeah.
That's all, sweetheart.
So, yeah, Ma, thanks for coming. Hey, champ, you're the best. End of story. All right? I'll see you around. Give me 5. You're too slow. Bye, buddy. Mwah. See ya. Bye, Ma.
You know, I'm really looking forward to seeing that HBO movie of yours tonight.
You know, I knocked down Sugar Ray Leonard once.
Dickie, what are you doing here?
Bud, I gotta go home.
Dickie, you need to go upstairs before I write you up.
I gotta go home. Please, Bud, all right? I gotta go home. I gotta see my son. I gotta tell him that ain't me no more, all right? I gotta tell him that ain't me no more.
Dickie,
Please.
I don't know what the hell you're talking about, but you need to go upstairs before we both get in trouble. Okay? Look, I have a son too, Dick, all right? But this is my job. You need to go upstairs.
Bob, I gotta go home, all right? Please, Bob, look at me. Will you look at me? Look at me. I gotta go home and I gotta see my son. Look at me.
How old is your son?
Will you be quiet and look at me? I gotta go see my son because I gotta let him know that that ain't me no more up there. I gotta go home right now.
I do understand.
I gotta go see him.
I understand. Dick.
So did you catch the Sanchez fight?
Yeah, that was the most unusual knockout.
I seen that. I seen him tap to the hook to the head
Yeah.
and shoot the left hook to the body right into the liver.
You know, he fought without his brother.
Maybe that's a good thing. Maybe that's why he won.
Yeah, that guy's trouble.
People are just like the fight. Those 6 rounds, we will lose, and he was losing. Then it just that one round.
Just like the town. You know what I mean? 1 minute we're garbage and we're a bunch of losers, and the next minute it's like we're popular again. Everybody loves us.
Lots of free drinks, though. Lots of free drinks.
You think Mickey's gonna take Dickie back?
He should, but I don't think he will. I don't think it's gonna happen.
so.
Hey, Shelly.
You know, I want to make an amend to everyone here. I said a lot of stupid things. I've done a lot of stupid things, and I'm sorry. And that's over. Cause I'm so fucking happy to be here, you know? I'm so fucking happy to be here, all right? I'm so grateful. And, I got a lot of fucking time to make up for it, and I want to make the best of it. You know, and you deserve that, Mick. You fucking deserve that. And I'm ready to be there for you now. No bullshit. That's a promise.
You may remember, if you're a longtime fight fan, that on July 18th, 1978, Dickie Eklund fought against Sugar Ray Leonard. Leonard winning the decision after a controversial knockdown by Eklund when it was ruled that Sugar Ray had actually tripped. Since then, hard times for Eklund, who wound up as a crack addict. This a scene from Eklund's stint in prison following criminal activities related to his crack addiction.
But since that time, he's kicked, he's clean, he's working with his brother, he's a family man, he's back on track, and flashes a big smile every chance you give him to talk about it.